Here's Brody Brazil.
Well, it's now officially been more than 6 months since the A's delivered their worst news ever to Oakland fans. Far worse than the loss of any single game or being eliminated from any postseason series and having a really great run come to a sudden conclusion. In fact, also far worse than your very favorite player being traded away from the team in an instant. And look, those are all things that simply come with the territory of being a sports fan, a baseball fan, and yeah, especially an A's fan in recent years. Those are normal things, actually. I mean, you come to expect some level of disappointment and frustration in just being a sports fan of any team. It's inherent. It's ingrained. Again, it's normal. But I'll tell you what's not normal is going on for more than half a year now, knowing that your team has made it their primary focus to move away from you. And in this case, the A's have put forth all their efforts into relocation to Las Vegas. Half a year is a long time, and it takes a lot out of the fans to go through this. And I've seen fans react in a multitude of different ways. I'm not here to tell you which way is right or wrong. I understand all of the approaches. Some fans have really leaned into this. They want to be updated on every single piece of information and news and updates. Other fans have just said, you know what? I got to turn away. I can't handle this for whatever reason. Too stressful, too emotional, too frustrating, whatever. I get it. I'm right there with all of you in really not knowing how to process this because, you know what? This doesn't happen often to sports fans and to baseball fans. I know that there's a lot of words out there. You've listened to a lot of stories out there. You've been feeling a lot of emotions out there. But the one thing that might stick with me better and longer than anything else is imagery. Sometimes an image can say more than words alone, and it can last longer than just one wave of emotion, like this photo here. Snapped by Jared, who's been working on the summer of 2023 documentary. He took this photo at a late season A's game at the Coliseum, and I'm just going to leave it up on the screen for a bit. The longer you look at it and realize what's going on and the message and the meaning, it hits and it hurts. It doesn't really need a caption. You've all seen a scene like this before at the Coliseum. Relatively empty facility. There's an ice machine. There's a wet floor marker. There's a beer cart. There's an information stand. And then there's the Athletics Kids Club kiosk. And a young fan who might be coming to one of their first baseball games might have already fallen in love with the A's, whether it's a player or the team colors. They've already got the hat and the jersey. I can see maybe it's just a fascination with Stomper. Yeah. It can be that simple for kids. And as I zoom in here, like you realize as this young fan is peering over the ledge there, just seeking something more. What's over here? Is there anybody there? And in this case, the answer is no. It's been abandoned. Nobody's home. And it's especially resonant to me because that was me. That was probably you too, going to games as a kid at the Coliseum, learning the team, learning their history, learning baseball, just learning sports, learning how to be a fan. And now we're realizing that if Oakland doesn't have this, the next generation is not going to have this. And full disclosure, as I record this video, there's nothing official. In fact, there's a lot still to be settled and sorted out in this process, right? So that is a thing. But if it is going to be a worst case scenario, there's a lot of things to consider here. Like number one, this is a generational loss if the A's move. And I think we realize that right now, but I don't think we fully grasp it or understand the magnitude of the loss. something that's been around for more than 50 years. Grandparents hand it down to their kids, who hand it down to their kids, who are looking forward to handing it down to their kids. But when it suddenly gets cut off, you realize the lineage, the traditions, what it meant when it's not around anymore. Again, I think we've talked about it. We think we understand it, but I don't know that we can fully grasp that part of it yet. Also this, kids are the most innocent ones in all of this, but they also have no clue of what's been happening this past year and in front of their very eyes. Try explaining it to that young fan that what you like and what you want to come back and see more of, it may not exist here in 20 months. It's a hard explanation to give to a kid. And how is this all allowed to happen? And look, we could sit here and point fingers in all directions all day long. I know we're in the moment of 2023 and these potential final steps of the A's in Oakland, but this goes back multiple decades, multiple iterations of the team, multiple iterations of local government, multiple iterations of Major League Baseball. And in all that time, nobody stepped up as a champion. Nobody stepped up as a hero. To fix all this, to get it back on track, and to make sure that we never got to this situation we're at right now. There were tons of points, like getting off a freeway. There's an exit here, an exit there, there's an on-ramp there, off-ramp there. Nothing positive ever happened to detour us from where we're at right now. I'll also say that, memories never die. Watching the 88, 89, and 90 World Series, as I so fortunately was able to do at the Coliseum, I'll never forget that. Or all of the other moments over the years, playoff games, individual milestones, Ricky becoming the official Man of Steel. I was there when he lifted the bag, third base, out from its moorings, as Bill King said. I'll keep all those memories. But they are a bit tainted. And what happens, hypothetically, if the A's do up and leave? And the Coliseum is still standing for years afterwards. And I'm driving north or south on 880 and I look over, what is that feeling going to be? What is that feeling supposed to be? It's not going to be good. And everything that was good about looking over there in the memories, it's going to be hard to make right, at least for me. And even more difficult because what is ever the good explanation here? Sometimes in life, there are things you don't like, but there are things that you understand. That is the way it was. Nothing great lasts forever. Bad things can happen. You don't always get your way. I totally understand that. But in this case, what is the good explanation? Well, Nevada ponied up public money for a stadium, and that's that. Is that the good explanation that we're going to be telling for years and years, if in fact this happens like this? And at a certain point, if Oakland loses the A's, and after all Oakland fans have been through, should there even be a fight for an expansion team? I don't mean should there be the desire. Yes, there should be the desire for that, but should there be a fight for it? Look at Kansas City, for example. The last time the A's moved, it was from Kansas City. They spent, a dozen years there? They moved to Oakland because a lot of teams were moving west. And that's way different than here in 2023 when all the teams are done moving west. East Coast to West Coast, we're stretched out. It's not that anymore. But baseball awarded Kansas City the expansion Royals because of the A's departure. They said, you know what? This is not you, Kansas City. We're going to take care of you. Oakland fans shouldn't even have to fight for expansion. In reality, if the A's are leaving, this should be part of the deal. Instantly. But here we are. And then last but not least, even in best case scenarios, I think we all have to fully realize that what we're witnessing and what A's fans have been through in the last year, in the last 5 years, in the last decade plus, these are all scars and chips on shoulders to A's fans. A's fans are different because they've had a different experience. And I'm just telling you that everything that's been gone through here, even if there are better days, these memories here and now will never be quickly dismissed or forgotten. So I just talked a lot about one photo right there. But I wanted you to see it, I wanted to share it, and I just wanted it to sink in. You made it here to the end of the video. You know I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. Also, don't forget, subscribe to this channel so I can definitely see you back here next time.